My name is Dennis Walter. My wife and I own Stonebrook Winery. We started the winery in actually 2005. We planted grapes in 2001. So we've been at this a little while. I'm on my farm where I grew up. Been in our family 150 years. And so the farm is diversified over its 150 years. It's the reason it's still part of the family farm. We planted our grapes in 2001. We started making wine in 2005, and the wine business was kind to us. We did quite well. It was paying the bills. And at the present time, my son now works for me full time. My grandson works for me full time. I have a grandson who's in college who works the vineyards in the summertime. My daughter does all the design work on our labels. My other daughter is the office manager. She runs the office. So, people ask me about success, and my view of success is that you've done enough and you've done it well enough so that your family can work for you and make a living doing it. Part of our success is that we stumbled upon a niche market for fruit wines. Our very first winemaker came to us and worked with us, and it was on a handshake. He showed up at our farm and seen what we were doing here, and this is when we first started. And he was impressed with our operation and how meticulous we were with our grapes and our production. And so we shook hands. He said, "I'll help you make the wine." And so we shook hands and we took off, and we were together for 20 years. And we got to the point where, the family could move in and take over. And he'd done his job well, taught me how to make wine. I taught my son how to make wine. And so he did a good job for us. But he introduced fruit wines. He said, "I think there's a niche for fruit wines." And so we started making fruit wines. And he was absolutely right. There is a niche for good quality fruit wine. And that was our goal, to make the best we could. And we're still continuing on with that tradition right now. My son has gotten very good at it. He experiments with different fruits and, what makes a good wine. And so, that was a big thing. We have 12 varieties of fruit wine, and we have, I believe, 6 or 8 varieties of grape wines. So we have about 21, 22 varietals of wine. So we've got a wine for everyone's palate, from nice dry reds, which have gold medaled, to nice dry whites, to dessert wine, Black Knights. So we run the gamut. If you don't like something we've got, you probably don't like wine. Is as a port style wine and I always thought that it's a blackberry that we do in a port style, blackberry wine we do in a port style. And I always thought that blackberry would make an excellent port. We started experimenting around with it, 6, 7 years ago, and it turned out just wonderful. It's a blackberry wine, high alcohol. We pair it, we blend a little. It has a little brandy in it, just gives it a hint of brandy, and so it's a higher alcohol wine. It's a dessert wine. It's naturally sweet, as most of ports are, and it's one of our better sellers here. I have people would like me to put this in a quart bottle, but the reason it's in a small bottle, it connotates port, but it's also, you don't want to drink too many of these, especially when you get home. Or a designated driver. But yeah, it proved me right when we made it and put it out on the market. People just love it, and I like it, and it's one of our top selling wines. That one there is a winner, and it's won several medals over the years, both local and state. and international. So it's most all of our wines that we make is all of them has medaled somewhere along the line in local, state, and international competitions. So we started out wanting to do it right, working hard to do the right wine, quality wine. Um, I know we've surprised being one of the first wineries in northern Kentucky. Uh, we've surprised a lot of people that Kentuckians can actually make good wine that will stand up with some of the best. So yeah, and that's one of them. So you're getting a good value when you're getting our Black Knight. The label was designed. I pitched the idea of what I wanted to my daughter, and my daughter does all the art and design work on our labels. Now her son is starting to take over that, so my grandson. But I pitched the idea out of what I was looking for on that bottle in the end, and that was her creation, and it's been just, it's wonderful. We have a little sign that you got to respect tonight. So that's a great bottle of wine right there. This port style wine pairs great with cheesecake, really good with cheesecake, chocolate cake. Most of the desserts you would serve at a meal, it goes quite well with.